take a look at your prospect plan. Now, you can get fancy later and create an elegant CRM that has triggers and qualifications and reminders and deep sets of notes. In fact, if you're in a business where you might have 100 or more clients where you're doing transactional work with, you need to have that CRM in place. The prospect plan is different though. It's really designed for those top line, big picture, who can I focus on to help generate more growth for my organization by virtue of who I can serve. So you're seeing here a Google Sheet. Very simple. It took me 10 minutes to put this together. And it's all designed about key actions. What's the next action that you need to take? So let me walk you through the different columns here and rows and what they mean. So we start off with sold and serving. Sold and serving are your current clients, the people that you're currently doing business with, either a one-time engagement or continuity clients, clients that you work with consistently month over month. I believe that we should always look at our clients as if they're prospects, that we should always appreciate that there might be more that we can do on behalf of the client, bring more opportunities, bring more value, help them achieve more goals. So as you add more clients to your sold and serving column, always identify what might be future opportunities. And we'll talk more about the opportunity column here in a minute. Next up, we have late stage. Late stage means there is a deal in the works, that you have a proposal on the table, or you're finalizing terms, or you've narrowed out what you and the client think you might want to do together. But here is where you're going to put those deals that have a budget and a sense of timing attached to it. Timing is everything. If you're a prospect and you do not have a sense of when you want to launch the program or execute the deal or be in market, then it's still just a fantasy. People move based on timing, a sense of scarcity or urgency. So all of those deals where there is a time and a budget attached to it but hasn't been signed off, they fall in the late stage. Then you have mid stage. This is where there's an opportunity. You and the client prospect are working through it together. You're starting to talk about what it would like to work together. You might have a sense of the kinds of problems that you can solve, the kinds of solutions you can bring to the client, even the kind of money that might be associated with the deal. But it's not formal yet. You haven't put a contract in front of the client. You haven't talked about specific numbers. But there's something here, and that's where you put those opportunities at the mid stage. And then finally, we have early stage. This is the groundwork. This is, for example, when you meet some interesting individual at an event and you think, I bet I could do business with this person in the future. That would be a really cool thing. You put that prospect in the early stage. You might have 30 or 40, 100 or more people in the early stage. And more is better here, right? Because you're not committed to anything. You just want to have a sense that there could be an opportunity moving forward, and you want to capture that individual so you don't forget. So, as I mentioned, this prospect plan is simple by design. Don't get too fancy. Don't get too wordy. Don't try to figure everything out. If you have a note system for tracking people and opportunities in terms of background on the individual, the organization, all of that stuff, great. You know, some people use Evernote, some people have a CRM program. You know, for those detailed notes, put those in another document. This is really about the top line, the big picture system. Opportunities here. Sometimes in opportunities, I'll put some specific programs or services that my client prospect would benefit from me doing together, or specific things that we've talked about doing together, or opportunities to even make a deeper impression with the prospect. This opportunity section is really open to your decision making, just as long as you put things in here that kind of keep things top of mind. Next action. Very, very important. you will probably never know exactly every step in the process that it's going to take to close an opportunity, because as you move further through the process of closing new great accounts, you learn more. Things change, and you want to be able to pivot. But what you always need to know at any point in the prospecting process is, what is my next action and what date is that action going to take? So, for example, if I'm talking to a prospect in the early stages, we're not talking about deals, we're not talking about working together. I just have a sense that this is a person that I'd like to serve and do business with. My next action might be, I'm going to see that person at an event next month, and I want to make sure that I say hello. And I'm going to put the date to that. Now, we can talk later about other ways to warm up the opportunity, but the key thing for you, especially for your early stages, is how many tools can you dip into your value-added toolbox and grab to help nurture and do a next action. For example, sharing an article of interest, seeing something in the news in the headlines that might be relevant to your prospect and sharing that. Maybe it's a third-party article, something that you think your prospect would find valuable. Maybe it's a piece of your agent of thought leadership that you can share, saying, hey, client prospect, I just wrote this paper. I thought you might be interested in having a look. Now let's talk lastly about the rhythm. So what I would do is fill this out, type everything in, all of your different opportunities at different stages, and then print it off. And every week, make notes. Every day, make notes of what you did, how you did it. And at the end of the week, do a reflection. Go through, make updates to the master document, print out a fresh copy, and keep after it. As I like to say, action beats meditation. And while we need reflection in our business, and we should do it every week, you want to keep this document well-oiled, up to date. Because the busier that you get in your business means the easier it is for you to lose sight of your growth plan. After all, you do a growth plan because you want more work. But when you're doing more work, it's easy to put this into the back burner. But don't do that. And that's why I've created this prospect plan, so that it's easy to maintain, easy to bring clarity and focus, easy to know what the next action ought to be. Good luck.